reliving your trauma. So I've been sitting down watching some videos recently because I've been doing shadow work all the time. I teach a lot about shadow work and how to do shadow work. But there's different ways of doing shadow work. So I teach how to do shadow work. We're focusing on one thing. So you try to focus on one thing, and when you're focusing on that one thing, you should feel like a sensation in the tummy. This is very important. Shadow work comes from the tummy, nowhere else. So just remember that. That's the basic of shadow work. All the tummy. So all bottled up emotion comes from where? The tummy. That's why they call it bottled up emotions. So there's different ways to do it. Which there's a stronger way to do it. There's a very, very stronger way that you can do shadow work. This way is basically you going back to that scenario that happened to you as a child. So it's mostly childhood which caused every other situation to happen in your relationships as you're growing up, in your experiences with the people you meet, the environment you're in, and your behavior and your defense mechanism, and all these things come from you having that mask on that you put on through that bad experience of trauma. So trauma could be any small thing, it can be small thing, it can be massive thing. Some people have really massive trauma. Some people have, there's no measure, but everyone's different, and it's trauma to you. So then that's where your mechanism comes from, defense mechanism. So it could be anything. That's why you start to get used to certain relationships. You keep attracting the same people to your reality, the same guy into your relationship, the same girl into your relationship. And you just start thinking everyone's like that, every girl is like that, every man is like that. Now this is something that's caused from childhood trauma, and so on, so on. More traumas would occur because of your childhood trauma. More trauma will occur because you'll be attracting certain places and people and things to you that will show you what you have inside you that needs healing. So you can continue doing your mission, whatever your mission is in here. So you can be a healer. Your mission can be, you can be a healer. It can be anything. You can be whatever you've experienced, and so on and so on and so on. But this is about shadow work. So shadow work, visualizing going back to as a child. So you have to go back and replay it in your mind. And I mean really replay it in your mind to a point where it's so realistic, it feels like you're there. And then you should feel the sensation in your belly. It's going to be a very difficult one, but that's the best way to do shadow work. All the other ones are easy ways to do shadow work. So if you can't remember, because some things you might not be able to remember, things that you can't remember, just focus on one thing. And when you focus on one thing, that you should be okay from there, because that's shadow work as well. Whatever you feel, that's shadow work. That's all shadow work is feeling to heal it. As soon as you're feeling, you're healing it. But if you really want to go within depths, the really traumatized bit, the main trauma, childhood trauma usually, is that you're going to have to go back and visualize in your mind, exactly what happened as a child, and go back there as an adult and get to see it for yourself and feel it, so it can finally be healed. That child who you are can be finally healed by you, the future you, the adult you. So you have to go visualize back to where it happened, what happened, where, environment, smell, look, sound, and visualize and heal it. Feel it to heal it.